How's it going, folks? And you're very welcome along to the Motorcycle Hour podcast, where we talk all things motorcycling. A quick shout out to our sponsors, Terence Healy Motorcycles Tullamore, your main Honda dealer for the Midlands. City Spares Motorcycling, Cherry Orchard Industrial Estate Dublin, your Honda and Suzuki agent. And motorcyclingtraining.ie, your one-stop shop for all your motorcycle training needs. Before we kick it off, we do want to give a reminder that this podcast is intended for audience of 18 years and older. So just remember this when deciding where and when you listen. How's it going, folks? And you're very welcome back to the Motorcycle Hour podcast. We are on to episode 65. We've got a special one on for you there this week. We're going to be having a look back over the highlights of 2025. Chatting about some of the amazing guests that we've had on over the year. It's been a bit of a roller coaster year, but yeah, we're going to be looking back on some of the guests, having a bit of a chat, as well as discussing our motorcycling highlights of the year to date. Joining in studio, as ever, is all 5'3" of the little grumpy little fucker that himself, that is the one and only Charlie Riley.
Yeah, but boy, now we have to start saying...
Settle down there, folks.
Have to start saying 5'4" now. I got a new pair of boots and they're half an inch higher.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm 5'4" now.
No,
I'm a real big boy now.
A real big boy now.
Real big boy.
Be able to get a man's bike now, Sean, and everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Man, that's
Take
unbelievable.
the stabilisers off, whooping away with me up the road.
Great stuff. Also joined in studio, as ever, the one and only Tony Moore, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. IBT himself. Give it up for Tony.
Settle down.
Settle down one at a time.
Calm it down.
Calm it down. How are you getting on, big man?
Yeah, not a bother. All good. As I said, doing a bit of training today. Out tomorrow. That's the last sort of official
IBT training.
IBT training for this year,
which stands for
initial basic training. The lads are getting good.
I'm telling you, this is nice. Swear to God.
You must be listening to the podcast. So that's it now. And again, look, like our club here, you know, we had many highs, you know, few lows, not that many, and pretty good. So
good year today, man. Good year today. Apart from obviously like the van and Jeep and stuff, shit.
But that's
neither here nor
that's
there.
like that's not bikes. The bike stuff is all good, man.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely, man.
100%.
I said to you before, your job category is up there with, like, you know, pizza testers and porn stars. You're never going to have a bad day at work. To be fair, do you know what I mean?
No, you don't. Like, you know, it's you know, as I said it before, even, you know, like, we're very privileged in what we do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm paid for my passion. You know what I mean? And that's the dream job. You know what I mean? Now, yes, you have to run it as a business, otherwise you won't be in business for very long.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But
that's important.
You know, and you know, with the crew that we have, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, they've all earned their stripes there. You know what I mean? They're there for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just chatting to one of the instructors, Vanessa, and she was chatting about, you know, mad keen to become an instructor, like an out and out biker all her life. You know, she rides a GS. Well, forgive her that, but drives the GS anyway.
No way.
And
1200.
Oh yeah,
for the big one.
Oh yeah. But she's ex-Garda, ex-traffic corps.
Oh well, we won't hold that against her. But anyway,
exactly, yeah. And, but her basic concern was, again, you know, becoming an instructor. And again, as I was saying before, you know, it's there's the banter, there's the crack, and I always say to the students, like, that's one more of us and one less of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, no bikery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, and you can have a bit of fun with the students. You know, biking's supposed to be fun. But
Absolutely.
There's times when you have to switch it on and be serious, you know, for a safety issue or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, when we were training Vanessa, she said, I love it, she says, but I have a fear that because it's now full-time and it's professional,
yep,
that I'm going to lose that passion for the biking. You know what I mean? And it was a legitimate concern, you know what I mean? And I said, no, it shouldn't. You know what I mean? If anything, because you have such a high standard, did you want to do everything well? Do you know what I mean? It actually makes you better. You'll rejig how you ride your own bike.
Yeah, I get
because you know, you can't be saying to the student, well, do it this way, and then you don't do it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Absolutely.
So you live it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, look, you see there, we're out on the spins even with the club. I still ride the same way with the corn and all that. You know, it just doesn't change. You know what I mean?
No. Some people would say
Is she-
poorly, but I'm not. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
me, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
See, Tony, you know, if
Well,
she,
I'm not finished with the roll call
if
yet.
she
Before
has
he was
if
going
she
on a
has
big,
a fear.
before he was going on a big fucking
Dare to
tangent.
talk to the child. The
Oh, my
child
God.
sort it out for her. I'll take the nervousness over.
I'll eventually get
no.
to finish this roll call.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on there.
Sorry.
But I have to say though, we just she
Not
just
getting finished, yeah.
only had a chat with her a couple of weeks ago, and I said, "Well, what do you think?" You know what I mean? She said, "No, she said, if anything," she says, "I've more passion for it now."
Than ever.
You know? Yeah, and Peter Farley was the same.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like,
sure, yeah.
You know, he was understudy for the best part of a year.
Yeah.
but he just said the same thing.
Yeah,
He
100%.
said, "I can't believe."
I have to, sorry, I have to, this roll call, I have to.
Oh, go on,
I have
go
to
on.
welcome-
McQuaid's pulling the hair ahead now.
No hair left.
He's pulling the hair, the hair out.
Last but by no means least is the Longford fucking stallion himself, Ross McQuaid. Give it up for Ross. Oh. they're all gone home.
Yeah, no, I knew you do that. Yeah,
They're all gone home. All right, Roscoe, what's going on with you, man? I'm liking your sunglasses.
yeah, they're class. Thanks
They
to
are.
me little brother Kieran getting them for me.
Are you going doing some oxyacetylene welding shortly, or what's the story?
They're steaming up now. Thanks to that fire.
It's some lump for York, mate. It's some lump for
Christ,
York. How was all with you, McQuader?
Same shit, different shovel.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
How many bikes have you got now?
3.
Any of them working at the minute?
Your definition of working would have to be.
Can you go to your shed, start any of them right now and ride them?
Potentially.
What's going on? You've got the phaser. I have to say, boys, the phaser stuff is looking schmick.
Yeah, fair play to Marco.
Yeah.
I picked up all the bits there today.
Did you?
Yeah, no, they look class.
I done some serious paint job on them, I have to say. My
Alright.
God, absolutely without doubt, yeah.
Yeah.
Triumph, you need to get a battery for tomorrow.
Yeah, but that started today, no matter. It's
Did
just,
it?
Yeah, just
I
weird.
told you, man, that was a bargain of the
Who
century.
sold you that
Triumph.
fucking Triumph?
That
Who
Triumph,
sold,
man, I tell you,
who
is,
sold you the last couple of
She just saw
years?
you coming.
Triumph is a humdinger of that. You know what I mean? Without a shadow of a doubt.
She's
What
agricultural.
other bike would not start one day and then you do nothing to it and it start the next day?
Oh, yeah.
Class. It fixed itself.
Yeah,
It's
Class.
Lazarus.
and breaks itself.
And breaks itself.
Oh, no. I'll do that for no bother.
He'll take the charge of that one.
No, are we going for a spin tomorrow, McQuaid? Yeah, goes out to the shed. Hey, Chad, this show won't fucking start.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know, but you're lucky. We're here for you.
Ah, yeah.
You know what I mean? No batch will sort it all out. We're going to Tullamore tomorrow and the boys are going to sort it all out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lads, we're here to talk about 2025. What a year it has been. Not only for Clonagale, but also with the podcast and everything in between. We did some fantastic old spins throughout the year, in fairness. We got to meet some fantastic people. We had some great guests on. Talk to us. What was, I suppose, going back to the start, 2025, and just looking back over the episodes here, the guys are at 65 episodes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If my maths are correct, 35 more will be at 100.
Yeah,
You like to have it there?
I can't wait for the 60.
I can't wait for the 67.
The 69, no, the 69 one.
Or the 69 one.
Oh,
Oh.
Lord, Jesus Christ.
I was saying to the missus, I said, we'll do a 68. And she says, what? I said, we'll do a 68. She said, what do you mean? I said, you suck mine on at all you one.
Oh, my God. Oh, Lord, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
And he's off. And they're
oh,
off.
he's
they're
off.
they're
Boom.
off.
He's
Shut up,
off.
Holy
Oh.
Jesus. Just looking back here by his time of podcast, our first guest of 2025 was the one and only Jack Weirty. Remember we had Jack on. Jack was doing some serious short circuit racing.
Yeah.
He was over in Modella. And I was just thinking back on that. Like, we had Jack on at the start of the year and we were quite hopeful. He was talking about his plans for kind of 2025 and stuff. And sad to see, I know he done a bit of racing up the north, but he never got going in Mandela. Obviously, we didn't have any
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandela in 2025. So it was a bit, it
Yeah, that
was,
was one of the lows, all right, yeah.
it was, you know, when you think about it, like, you look back on the year and you forget, you go, Jesus Christ, yeah, we didn't have anything this year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're thinking back to obviously 2024 when we did, and then you think that the year goes by that fucking fast. We've no short circuit racing down here this year at all.
Yeah, but time waits for no one, Brent.
It waits for absolutely no one.
You know what I
no,
mean?
well fucking said, 110%.
Yeah.
But no, Jack was an absolute character, a legend. He was riding the DM Groundworks. Was he riding a new Honda or a BMW or something for him? I think at the time. But let's get him back on. But I suppose all things considered, just on that episode, enough. Like, obviously throughout the year we had a good few people on from prospective MCI presidents and people we know within the board, and then we had obviously the outgoing president and we had the new president on and stuff. And I suppose, all things considered, it seems like they've made some serious headways anyway. There's definitely not a talk at the minute about...
Yeah. Oh, no, look, like, you know, credit where it's due, you know, and look, I'll call a spade, you know. I think that they're more open to suggestion. Do you know what I mean? And look, our own little plug there, you know what I mean, about the subscription there, you know what I mean? I think, you know, we said it on the podcast here, you know, it was a open goal. It was a no-brainer. Do you know what I mean? You were missing a trick there, you know. And you have to tip the hat to them and say, well, listen,
they took it on
board. And, you know, I mean, fair play to them.
Absolutely.
I mean? And
without a shadow of a doubt. It's great to see it.
Yeah, look, whatever happened, and, you know, people were going for positions and bits and pieces. It is what it is now.
Yeah.
And so far, you know, credit where it's due. Well, it seems to be...
Absolutely, like I have to say, you know, like hitting the ground running. Again, the elections was only last month, we can't forget. And seems to have an insurance deal across the line. We've got some dates for some short circuit racing. Yeah. We're getting feedback from a lot of the road racing clubs to say they're all ready for up and running for 2026. And on the social media end of things, I have to give a nod, and I have to give a shout out to Carl Brady, who's the new PRO for the Motorcycle Ireland. He's hit the ground running. Do you know what I mean? You go on to, there's lots of stuff coming up on it.
Well, that's about to say, like, what I noticed was just on my feeds on different medias, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's great.
I never see. I mean, look,
never.
Look, it's water under the bridge, but this whole 70s fucking four-man thing of, you know, one press statement a year. It doesn't work. Like, you have to move on.
We don't live in that era.
Yeah, and I think with new blood, and look, it wouldn't have got where it was without the former presidents and members.
No,
so it's not knocking them.
No.
But I think, you know, it seriously needed a revamp.
It did.
And you have to bring it up into the age that we're in now, social media. That's where it's
instead of one press conference a year, like as you said back in the day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is 2025. Going forward now, to have it to where it is now. So 2026, we're looking forward to getting back on the base, heading down for a day's entertainment with racing.
You know,
so every 3 months, the new president should just bring out a new thing every 3 months.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're going to be getting with this new pack, though, isn't it?
Yeah, like absolutely, yeah. You know, again, and just to mention that again, that obviously, as Tony mentioned there, was an idea that was born on the podcast, where that Motorcycle Ireland could open up Motorcycle Ireland to the general public and charge a supporters fee or a membership fee, call it what you want.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to say that they did take that on board. And if anybody that's listening to the podcast can go onto the MCI, it is the most straightforward thing you'll ever do in your entire life. You go onto the MCI website and you fill out a supporters form subscription. It's literally just your name, address, date of birth, and then it's €20 charge for the year, and you'll be updated with events that's going on. You think you get a badge and a few bits and pieces in
supporter stickers and all that.
Supporter stickers in the post. I mean, it's the best €20 you'll ever fucking
spend. If anyone's willing to do it for Charlie Riley, because he can't do it.
No, we'll figure it out.
But
he won't be afraid to pay for it.
But by doing that, you see, lads, what's it doing? It's going to keep the sport alive.
But they're going to get an extra 10 or 20 grand out of it, whatever they get.
Yeah.
It's extra money that they didn't have last year.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
The more people know about it, more people do it.
I would urge people, that anybody that's listening to the podcast that hasn't already done so, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Jump onto the MCI website, scroll down, you'll see the option there, bang, get your membership, 20 quid, and then look forward 2026, whether you're into motocross, enduro, short circuit, road racing, or all of the above, you will have the events to go to next year.
And another thing too, boys, what would be brilliant as well, if you notice, like as we do fly over from here to England to the bike shows and stuff like that, they need stuff like that in this country.
Oh, absolutely.
That'll raise money.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, and anywhere you go, what's the first thing a fella says when he's going anywhere to bike racing?
I hope Charlie's not going.
They're all afraid in case I hammer them off the track. I know, but Joe, what's the first thing Jeez, boys, I'm going to buy a fucking t-shirt or I'm going to buy a jacket.
Yeah.
Right? So stalls has a big thing to do with it as well. The more stalls you've in it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because people are going to spend money.
Well, just on that, and I'm glad you brought that up. And we have, we're going to have, more details on this. And there is some pretty big plans on our end of things as well. And I'm sure with the organisers, there is obviously a big Moto Expo going on in March in Punchestown. Now, for those that remember back to the good old days of the RDS bike show, which was absolutely fantastic, I have to say, I used to enjoy it every year, every time it was on, we go to it. But this is, I suppose, the equivalent, or maybe it's going to be a lot better. But it's a huge, and I know I spoke briefly to one of the guys involved in it, and this is a huge undertaking, and there's potential here to be a massive show. So we're going to get all the details. We're going to get them on early in the new year and get the whole down low on that. But that's something definitely to look forward to.
Yeah.
And as well as that, Charlie, as you said, absolutely, it's a great way of various people can have stalls at and make a few bob at and all that. But not only that, it's a great way of spreading the word. It's showing your presence. You know, motorcyclists are here. We're here to fucking stay. Do you know what I mean? And this is all the outlets. This is what's available to you. So if you've got a family member there that young lads, that the parents, as I've said before, have no interest in motorsport or won't even say no experience in any motorsport, but they've got a young fella there that wants to get into motocross or short track or whatever the case may be, this is somewhere he can go. Meet people, see what it's all about, and then in turn the family can see the whole, the setup that's there behind them. And that's how it starts.
But
That is how it starts.
I've spoke to people that have no bikes and they go for the day out with the kids and that.
Yeah.
They enjoy watching it.
Absolutely.
They don't want to do
But you see
biking.
that I noticed that more prevalent up the north.
Yeah.
That it's a family day out.
Yeah.
It's built around the families.
And
Absolutely.
again, it's bikers are bikers, or these people again, they're not even when they have a bike in the family.
Yeah.
But the whole family's there, and they be chatting about the riders, and they love
Sure,
it.
myself
Absolutely.
and Brendan
Absolutely.
and Cooper was up in the northwest,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was a woman there, and she'd 5 kids for her,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
she's not a biker, but
No.
she loves the bike racing.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and,
for sure.
and she would know bike,
yeah,
and
yeah.
she said it's a great family day out, a bonding day, and they all get excited seeing lads going by there at
yeah.
allegedly 100 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
And no, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like when you see families like that going out, they haven't even got a bike.
Absolutely.
That shows you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know?
100%.
But you need things there to bring people.
Absolutely.
Like we went into
They
where
know
the-
mentality is you build it and they will come.
yeah.
Build it and they will come
Sure,
100%.
sure, we went into where the stalls were, and this is no amazing. Brendan will tell you, I spent over 200 sterling on just fucking flags
In one stall.
in one stall, right?
He kept going back.
I couldn't get away from it,
No.
like, because you don't get them down here.
No.
No,
Yeah.
and the chap did say it to me. He says, "Oh, if he's ever the racing around and back down south and all," he says, "I'd appreciate it." And I kept his phone number.
Yeah.
He said, "Give me a ring," he says, "and I'll bring me stuff." I says, "Lovely, jubbly, sure."
Did he
know.
think you were important enough to organise that sort of stuff?
No, he seen I was from
Well, in
Clonagale.
fairness-
so
He saw
shut your
the
cake.
he saw the podcast.
Yeah, I think in fairness now, when the road racing was on, there was the same crowd with all the t-shirts, the team t-shirts, and that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what happened there was like COVID
COVID
wiped
annihilated
them out
it.
because they
Absolutely.
had bought all the stock.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was
And-
like TT 20, what was it, 22?
Yeah,
Or whatever it
Yeah.
was, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? I saw actually a very interesting one on that. There was a guy locally who was had a printing company doing T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
And he got in a shitload of T-shirts for the Garth Brooks concert.
Yeah.
I remember the year
The
before.
first time around,
Yeah,
yeah.
when it was
Yeah.
cancelled.
Yeah.
And he was clever enough. He changed it and he got the T-shirt and said, "I almost saw Garth Brooks." And he sold them all out. I just thought that was an interesting one. Yeah.
So
But
who
by-
else then was on our
Yeah, exactly. Just looking through another guest that we had on, and just a really interesting one. As I say, with the podcast, we tried to diversify a bit. This is not a podcast that's all road racing or short circuit or enduro or motocross or Harley riders or anything. We try to diversify it and get as many different, people from different backgrounds, provided it's motorcycle related. And another one we had on episode 23 was Overlanders. And the guys
Oh,
are,
yeah.
of course, remember Overlanders
Yeah.
down in Wexford are obviously the company that will not only ship your bike to a destination anywhere pretty much across the world, but will also do guided tours and go out there with you. And, they'll they'll organise a whole run. And again, phenomenal. They're really interesting guys.
Yeah.
And I suppose what I learned, going back to that podcast was, obviously there's a lot of people you think are into adventure tours and bikes and stuff like that, but I just didn't realise how big it was in Ireland.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah, like these guys have 2 trucks going flat out the whole
yeah.
time. To whether it's parts of Europe. They've done New Zealand. They've done the States. They've done every far-reaching part of Europe.
Yeah.
They've done Africa. Do you know? And it was an eye opener, I suppose. And then we kind of spoke briefly about some of the costs involved. And then it's something we've discussed on the podcast numerous times. Like, while obviously you don't want to be riding, but I mean, if you're going to tour a certain part of Europe and you're kind of restricted, I suppose, in one way on time, as most of us are, there's a great opportunity to get the likes of overlanders to ship your bike to where you're going, catch a flight over, tee up with the boys, do your couple of days touring, drop the bike back, and jump on a flight with Ryanair for.
It opens up Europe to you.
Yeah.
Exactly right, man. Exactly.
Opens up anywhere to you.
It does. And it's so inexpensive as well, to be fair. I was surprised at just how inexpensive it was,
Yeah.
But
That
the big
takes
thing
us
is
a
the
little
time.
bit, you know what I
It's
mean?
the time
Yeah.
that it saves you. It's just monumental.
Well, 100%. Like we were looking at before, and we were kind of saying, if we could dedicate, we kind of all agreed, the most we could realistically take off work, to go on a bike trip was like 7 days.
Yeah.
But in a lot of these places, 3 days there, 3 days back.
Yeah.
So that kind of
And
rules
you were
that
always
out.
basing it. You had to go to somewhere that had a port.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
were going Bilbao or Cherbourg or somewhere like that.
So exactly. So if you wanted to go to somewhere more central in Europe,
you couldn't.
you couldn't, unless you wanted to take 2 weeks. So the boys were on. I think it was I can't rightly remember. Was it Darren? I think, or David Reinhardt. I think was But real interesting, interesting guy. Real interesting career and a background and stuff. He started off as an engineer and kind of got into this end of things. And overlanders now, and they're a subsection, I suppose, of the company AMI, which is that Adventure Motorcycle Ireland, where they sell adventure motorcycles and stuff. But they were a very, very interesting crowd to have
absolutely.
on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then there was definitely, as I said, there was definitely scope there for. We spoke about, like, as I say, I think, for most Europe, 700-800 euro you'll get your bike shipped out, which is, which was interesting.
Nothing wrong with that,
no, definitely nothing wrong with that, So that was episode 2023, I think we had on. Jumping on to 24, we had, obviously, Darren Smith on from Bike to Bike Track Days. Another, interesting one as well. Yeah, we all spoke about it. And on the back of that podcast, a shit ton of listeners have contacted us to say, they took the leap and they booked in for their first track day and they done the track day training. And
brilliant.
It's absolutely brilliant. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Savage, savage.
And I think that's, kind of a feather in our cap is that because, again, Noah's Ark, build it and it will come. There was nothing kind of niche out there that we're doing. That, just diversifies into every aspect of biking.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Or all peripherals of not just riding the bikes or not just, but, that lady that I had trained, herself and the husband, their daughter was very sick. In Tampa, you know what I mean?
We had those on the podcast too.
I mean, I just found that, I think people just like, especially the Irish, like, like a nice warm fire, like you're looking into the embers there and having a chat, having a story, It's the whole human aspect of it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, without doubt, exactly, yeah.
But that's what life's about. This fighting and arguing budget. Sit down, have a chin wag about, have a laugh and whatever, and things will sort out.
And especially with bikers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we're all into bikes.
Absolutely.
Whether, as I said before, whether you do track days or you do, or you go to rallies every year, or you go to whatever it is, we all the one common denominator is we're all into bikes. So we'll always have something to chat about. Another guy that we had on, of course, needs very little introduction. Was the Bowl Harry Harrison.
Oh, the Bowl Harry,
yeah.
Oh, the Bowl
Gary was,
Harry.
Harry was, just give us a bit of a chat about some of the bikes he's been working on. And actually, since that podcast went out, he revealed his the Isle of Man bike that he had been working on.
That's right, yeah.
Oh my God, we seen
he
that
done that
over
over the bikes.
Kildare Biker Spins and Meets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what a fucking machine that was. Remember that one?
I haven't seen that
Oh
one.
my
Did you
God,
not
that
see
was
it?
absolutely
No.
fantastic.
Chucky Daly owns it.
Yes, correct and right. Yeah, what? A
Oh, he
fucking
lives
bike.
it in the sitting room. He won't bring it out.
The type.
Yeah. No, he did. But in fairness,
Kettle pot black. You know yourself.
in fairness now,
Exactly.
Chucky
Exactly.
did say, he said, "Cha, listen, bud, you want the old keys for there, bud? You can bring it on."
Oh, here we go.
You know?
Yeah.
I says, "No, bud, no, I wouldn't. It's too high for me."
Oh, Lord, my God. Jumping on a couple of episodes then, we were up at episode 30 and we had the one and only Rev Roman Roast on. Jane, who you'll remember we met below in Killarney.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
She was bitterly disappointed with you, Jack.
Why?
Oh, she just expected more of you. She thought that big, deep man's voice. You know what I mean? You were going to.
She didn't believe the 5'3.5". She thought you were a
she
good
thought you were going to be
6.5 foot
tall, dark, and handsome. But
We said, no, that's Tony.
No, she knew it was short. And if she wanted to growl out the man, but why did
Short,
she go home
sweet.
early? Oh.
short and sweet. Now that's exactly what it was. You know what I mean?
The jockey has the big whip.
Exactly.
She ended up with a beautiful new BMW because you remember we had her on the podcast. She spoke about she was actually involved in a road traffic accident.
She just came off the bike.
Yeah, so I think she got herself a new GS 410. I think or something along the lines.
310, isn't it?
No, I think it was the bigger one. I'm not 100% sure, but she got a new one anyway. And I've been following her progress on Instagram. And I would also urge anybody to jump on. It's on Instagram. Head over there and check out Rev Roman Roast, and give them a follow or give herself a follow. It's very interesting, very entertaining, and there's no bullshit about her. And she just maps out some fantastic roads in Ireland and stuff. So get over and give her a follow, as the fella says. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Where are we then after that? Then we moved on to Bike Fest Killarney, which seems kind of like a bit of a distant memory at this stage.
Yep.
But what an experience that was. Tony, you didn't come.
No, working again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Or was I? No, I don't know. I could have been on the.
You're not on holidays then?
Could have been away on
Could have
holidays.
been on holidays. Yeah, June bank holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have been. But that was
Kevin Keys racing that weekend.
Ooh, what was on that weekend? Isle of Man would have been on, roughly around there.
Oh,
Yeah, man, yeah.
That's when it was. But we obviously had the guys on from Bike Fest in Killarney. We had Patrick Donoghue on, of course, who was the chairman. And really good chat with him. We were all excited. We couldn't wait to get down there. We've obviously since been and gone, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a great
But Graham,
couple of days.
before Killarney, though, the real bit I totally enjoyed was the road trip down there.
You just loved Westport. There was another festival on there that you thoroughly
No,
enjoyed.
I don't know. Did I mention this in the podcast? I don't think I did.
I don't know if you did or not.
But so we never mentioned this in the podcast. I don't think we actually did.
No.
But obviously we had planned the whole podcast.
We didn't mention it.
No, we had planned the whole route, you know what I mean? And I was kind of trying to break it up and decide like what was the best route to go on. As we all know, Westport's just a hopping town. It's just a great town for a bit of crack and all that.
Yeah, but tell the truth now.
I know.
Tell before we started off.
No, hold on. They know that. They know that. But what I'm getting at is, so obviously we did our old spin and then we went to Longford and so on and so forth. And we made our way to Killarney. Now, we were all a little bit tired and probably a little bit grumpy. But when we got to Killarney, Westport. When we got to Westport, was a ginormous banner going the whole way across the town that said, "Welcome to Mayo's Pride Festival."
Yeah.
And I was seeing us riding in on bikes.
I just remember Harley. I could
imagine shining a pair of chaps.
I was kind of looking and I could see Chaz's head like turning to try and read the sign and then turning, then shaking the head and everything. But it was it was a great fucking night. We had a savage weekend.
Yeah.
The whole job, law.
We come out of where we were staying.
Yeah.
And went into the first pub. We had a few quick Swifties. And we met with a nice American couple.
Yeah.
We were chatting with them and had a few cigarettes out the bag, and then we were heading down for the town.
Yeah.
Sure, we met a few people. Oh, boys, you was here for the festival. No. Straight away, no. We knew what the festival was, you know?
You're looking for the blue oyster, yeah?
I just thought it was so funny. We pulled in and all the boys going, "McGuire, did you plan this?" But no, it was some crack. It was absolutely brilliant.
I was shaking the head, Tony, going, "What the fuck are we doing here?"
Absolutely, yeah. No,
but it
savage
was a great
crack.
night after.
Savage crack. It was. It
weekend.
really was. It was fantastic. Great crowd. Great weekend. Everything was brilliant. You know what I mean? Then I suppose moving forward, jumping on a couple then after that, we obviously had Dara Core racing on then with the bow with Kevin Keys, and he gave us the lowdown on the TT25, which was, you know, it was a hell of a year for him. I mean, he was everything, not just him, the team, everything was thrown at them bikes for the year with bikes and breaking down and stuff.
I have to say now, you know, and give credit now to the two boys that run it, you know. The commitments that they have to Kevin, do you know what I mean? And like with the fucking, so the time he was over there with the R1 and it fucking shit itself and all that, and then you know, and to go out and get a bike and look, as I said, it's just I love the way the whole team works. Do you know what I mean? It's a real family oriented thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it was we had the supporters dinner there last week. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I was just laughing, like, you know what I mean? It's do you remember the first time Keith came in? You know what I mean? And he was fucking rattling. He was shaking coming. And now, oh, come on now again, no problem.
I remember that the first podcast, and you look at him like, lad, relax.
I must get on to Keith. The whore, he was to get me one of them fucking, what you call them?
But you have to pay for Charlie. You know?
No,
they're not doing kid sizes yet.
No, because see, the pocket was stitched for where you put your phone.
Right.
And I said to Keith, I says, I want one of them, but I want to be able to put my phone in there. I'm getting you one, Cha. I'm getting you one. He didn't get it. I'm going to get on to him.
Yeah.
I want to get on to him.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice. I got one.
Yeah,
so I don't mind
Did you
with
get
the
one?
money.
You actually paid for it.
I actually paid for it.
Can you put your phone there?
I don't know actually whether it fit or not. You know what I mean? So
his wallet wouldn't fit in anyway. Oh, I know where that's there.
Yeah, your phone would fit in there.
Indeed it would. Boys, the next lad we want to talk about that we had on then was none other. Like, I have to say this, right? When you're starting a podcast, right? Obviously, we started from very, very humble beginnings.
Yeah.
You know, no one really knew much about, obviously, the podcast. A lot of lads, people would have known Clonagale Gale. But, you know, you start all this, it was a huge investment. Just for those that are out there, we've invested as a club. We've invested probably close to €5,000 on equipment between recording equipment, laptops, cameras, etc. So it was a big investment, and the time and effort that this takes. Obviously, you're going to be enjoying. I hope you're going to be enjoying this podcast and listening to it, and whatever it goes for an hour and a half. But you know, in the background, we all do this for the love of it. But it takes hours and hours and hours.
yeah.
Oh yeah, like when we finish talking shite, it takes another couple of hours to get this
To get it all up and running. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so,
like it's not a matter of just recording and putting it up. You know?
Exactly,
no.
yeah.
So it's tough going, but you're always trying to get a couple of kind of bigger names on it. You know, and it can be hard. Especially when you're a new podcast. And that's why the next guest I want to mention, I was absolutely delighted when he decided he'd come on and have a bit of a chat with us. And that is, of course, none other than Jack Kennedy. 5-time British Supersport champion. Absolute gent, real down to earth, you know what I mean? One of our own. And Jack came on and had a real good chat about, Jack's obviously was racing for Honda Racing UK. We had him on just to talk about, you know, how he started off. And so funny, like his story is probably not much different than any of ours in the such that his outlet got him a dirt bike and started off with a little Pee-wee 50 and, you know, worked his way up to...
Yeah, but you wouldn't have had a dirt bike if you washed it. It would have been a clean bike.
Oh, Lord.
Where's that?
It's not even worth it. But no, just, you know, I remember Jack came on there, you know, just a bit of a chat about him and, you know, how he got started and his plans for the year and some of the highs and lows, and we went through some of the years of him racing and up until his, you know, recent success in the past couple of years. And obviously we've been following him then, and he had a fucking fairly good year this year, to be fair, you know.
What I mean?
So, you know, I'd be interested to see what his plans are.
We're back to the same thing. You know, it's not just the racing. And that could be whatever, motocross, grass track, whatever, but it's the story about the rider. Do you know what I mean? Rhys Irwin, again, the whole thing about breaking down with the truck and all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure,
you know? And just kind of, I know we're kind of hopping there between stuff there, but again, that's big news again this week, that he's riding in BSB now.
Yeah.
You know?
My God, I'm delighted. You know what I mean? My God, what an absolute... That's
a man we have to get back on now.
Absolutely, and we wish him. I couldn't believe when I seen that. It was fantastic, you know? And, well, Aaron, and obviously, like, in fairness, the team, you know, the new team that he's come with, you know, they know you know, well, I suppose it's a safe bet, I suppose you would imagine, in a way. Like, he's obviously this year's British Supersport champion. But the potential that he has, like, you know what I mean? And he's made that transition in such a short space of time, you could say. It's fantastic. I can't wait to see what he has in store, you know? He's an absolute gem. But again, that was Jack Kennedy. We were delighted to have him on, and, you know, we genuinely look forward to him, you know, maybe getting him on again, maybe later on in the year. Having a chat with him and you know, see what his plans are.
Well, I'd say in the new year, because if he's trying to get it in this year now, he's going to be tight to get him in.
It's going to be tight.
Well, I suppose it's everything. I mean, we just kind of skipping back a bit with Rhys. You know what I mean? There was this odd deal was obviously in the pipeline, but he couldn't say anything about it. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. No, he kind of did hint at it. All right.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So,
for sure.
But you know, credit to the two boys in the team. Do you know what I mean? Now the other chap name just escapes me I just can't think of his name now, but you know, again, it's something I'm going to be watching now
Yeah, for sure.
know, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it definitely is another thing to go be a busy year in 2026, man, between all that, because again, we'll have our own racing to go to this year. But jumping on then, I suppose if we jump on to episode 44, we were chatting about the Irish Photo Rally, and of course, as we were up in Armagh for the weekend, and plenty of stories about that, which we spoke a few about on the last podcast. But that was one of the best weekends of the year for me, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have to say, with the Irish Photo Rally itself, we've mentioned it numerous times, but it was fucking brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Got us all out on the bikes for, days on end, and it was just some crack. If you look back over the years, do you know what I mean? Or this year, the crack we had was unbelievable,
Yeah.
Even now to right now, remember when I knocked Davina off her bike?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah, you big clown.
Oh, shit.
Drop kicked her off.
Oh,
Throws the
my
leg
God.
over his own to get up and then kicks her off her.
No, that's what actually happened was, so obviously Davina's been coming out with us for a good while on the bike stuff. Just an absolute fucking legend. And she had the CBR 600 at the time. And you couldn't have rode this, lad. We were actually after getting lost. We were looking for a petrol station. We pulled into an old petrol station. So if you can imagine, we pulled in where the pumps would have been, but this has now been turned into a cafe.
With no toilet.
Yeah.
No, so the huge window at the front is set up now with a table or do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's a coffee shop.
A coffee shop, yeah. So you'd maybe 20 people sitting at this bench having their coffee, looking out the window at all us. And I got up onto the Triumph, and Davina went to drive around me, I suppose. But I had the panniers on, and of course, as I stood the Triumph up, it was the most slow speed crash or whatever. And next thing, I just clipped Davina's bike, and next thing, the whole bike fell over, and she was stuck underneath it, and everybody just looking out. And she says I didn't, but when I eventually stopped laughing, I did get out and help her up off the ground. But stuff like that. And then of course, Eamon, the other Eamon, a fella that was a friend of yours, with us.
My friend, yeah, his bike was on fumes.
Yeah, on fucking fumes, man. Yeah, that was good crack though.
That was funny.
That was a savage old day. You fell off the bike that day?
I fell off the bike that day, yeah.
That was the memorial race, or the memorial, not race. The
No.
was
This was a photo rally we done down towards
Yeah, but
Tipperary.
just a lot of people falling off. But remember, we went up to the
Oh, yeah,
No,
sure.
three of us fell off bikes that day.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All within a few minutes, like.
Within a few minutes.
Well, no,
yeah.
to be fair, me and Brian fell off bikes within probably like 200 yards of each other.
Yeah.
And then Cha up in the car park.
Up in the car park, full of gravel. I went to turn the
And
next
did
minute.
did Kieran go over as well?
No.
No,
No,
Kieran didn't go over. No, Kieran didn't even go. Did he? Oh, did you hear him?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
gone,
Kieran
but now,
came
did he?
with us. Yeah, he
Oh, he did. Okay,
But
did he?
then
Okay,
you
okay.
had the flat.
I got the flat wheel,
He
of
got a
course.
puncture.
I got
That's
a
right,
puncture.
yeah.
That
Cha
is
went
right.
down to half a tank of petrol, nearly
Oh
calf.
my God!
I
know.
Panic.
Panic stations.
Oh,
Woo.
Oh my
Tell you one
God,
thing,
man.
boys. I only got the haircut that day, and by the time I go home, boys, you go plaid. I tell you.
Oh, jeez, it was hilarious. And then the funniest thing, of which we forgot to mention, was because obviously, in fairness to Cha, and we love you, Cha, but Cha and technology. Now, when I say technology,
Yeah.
an ATM card freaks Cha.
Oh, yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
That's just like, whoa.
He's still using the abacus.
110%. So when we got to the actual fuel stop, it was,
Card only.
Card only.
On
and
the pump.
Self-service. Oh, the Lord, yes.
I blew a fuse. I wanted to pull the
What
up
was
out
it?
of the wall.
What is this? How do you fucking do it? What way is this? Where he's like, relax.
Because I only bring cash. I don't deal with that shit card. Fucking.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with you,
Cha
boys.
just
I was
chat there
wondering-
throwing 20s at the pump. Like,
All the stuff on the mattress there, yeah, all the fucking,
Yeah, it's all exactly 110%. Yeah.
You climb up
But-
into the bed, yeah.
Yeah, honest of all. But again, what a bit of crack. You know what I mean?
I know,
That's what
brilliant.
the whole year
But
was
I
made
tell you
up
now, all Jones said, any road trip we did do this year,
oh, there was always a story on the back.
there was
Absolutely.
always, and the fucking laughs was serious.
As a lad said to me before, it's like when you were back in school. You never remember the days that nothing happened.
Yeah.
You'll always remember the days, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
where somebody got a baiting or something happened, or some lad fell or tripped or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them was the days you remember, but
Yeah.
you know, and I
I
have to say,
remember,
like the photo rally up for Armagh.
yeah.
To the church.
But
Comes
I
over the
remember
church
the-
and it brings us on a fucking 20-minute spin right around, and we passed the Corn
Yeah.
church, the far side on the right. And I said, we're asking there, Ren. Shh, shh.
I could see your little fucking head twitching, looking at
Yeah,
it.
you're right.
And the monk in your head was starting to play the drums, and you were calculating. You were like, "That's the fucking place we're only had to be in." Oh Lord,
I tell you what,
Jesus Christ.
but that's what I'm saying. You can have a fucking laugh about it.
100%.
I remember listening to
100%.
Billy Connie about that. He said the same thing. He said, "You remember a young fella? He said, we went camping. You know what I mean? And it lashed rain, and the tents got drowned. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're walking home, he says, and you're miserable and never fucking doing this again.
Yeah.
And then, 6 months later, you're having a laugh about it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It was like the time
yeah.
we went to the TT and
Me, Ray, and Eugene.
right. So she got a tent off your brother, didn't he?
Yeah, I got my brother's tent.
But this thing had if you imagine, comes to a point.
Yeah.
And there was a gap, so the fucking rain was coming in. And because the tent was waterproof, the water was staying inside in the fucking.
It was like a swimming
And the
pool.
boys opened the fucking front of it, and the
Water flew out.
but it was just the beds were
Jesus.
floating on the fucking water, and the boots were floating on the water in the tent.
Nice.
Right.
Oh no.
But you know
No.
what? And you see, and we got this little piece of the tent in the tent. We were going, where's that for? Right?
Where's that supposed to go? It's a canopy supposed
And
to go over it.
I says to Eugene and Ray, fuck it into the corner there. It'll be grand. Sure, tomorrow we'll find out where it is tomorrow. Oh, the three of us was lying in the tent looking up.
Oh, the stars.
We could see the stars and we were going, wonder is that where it is? Right? So we done that and he fell asleep anyway. Woke up the next morning, trying to tell you. Boys were floating. The rain all
Didn't realise you
came in.
brought a water bag.
Swear to God, boys.
Well, but the same thing, I got up out of the tent anyway, and because I could hear all this at midnight, for fuck's sake, this fucking one. And I just roll over like in warm in your own fucking bed, going and giggling, do you know what I mean, right? And I got up the next morning, well, you never seen this boys as fucking sad looking, and they were rattling with the cold, right? And
Jesus
everything
Christ.
was like dripping fucking wet, you know what I mean?
But sure, Ray was whinging over his brand new boots. Ray was only had to buy brand new boots. They were full of water. He was going mental.
Right? So the boys are all there, like, I got up on here and they were all, like, having a fight and rattling with the cold, like, do you know what I mean? And it wasn't, like, it just when you get wet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what are we going to fucking do, like, you know what I mean? And so the old army training kicked in. I said, lads, do you know what you do? Start your fucking bikes.
Yeah.
They'll get hot.
Yeah.
And the fan will kick in and put
Yeah.
your sleeping bag over the tank and over the fairing.
Oh yeah.
Fucking dried everything out.
Oh, proper fucking job, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Now, if I had done that, I would have ended up doing the head gasket the bike.
No, that'd be Ross. That'd be Ross.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
Ross.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old crack. Yeah, but again, as I said, that was Irish Photo Rally, and then of course we went up to Armagh, and we actually found out later. We obviously went to the black hedge. What do you call it? The black hedges, the dark hedges.
Dark hedges,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we were like riding down that road, and we were wondering, why is everyone
Wonder why
looking at
everyone
us?
looking. They're supposed to
Obviously,
ride
you're
down.
not supposed to be on that road in any vehicle at all. And we rode it twice, as you do. But yeah, I regret nothing. That was good crack. Episode 46, and in actual fact, it's
What was your best before? What was your
yeah,
best?
no, we're going to get him in now. We're going to get him in now in a second. We're going to get him in. Just on that as well, episode 46, which of course is a very unique number when it comes to motorcycling. Thinking of the old Valentino Rossi, of course. We had the legend himself that's on, Philip McCannon.
Yeah, that was very interesting, you know.
That was definitely,
Yeah,
throughout the year, that was one of those pinch
Yeah.
me moments.
yeah.
I grew up looking at Philip McCannon. Everybody knows Philip McCannon. When he was on the telly or racing, or you look back in a documentary when, you know what I mean,
Who is
with
he?
Philip McCannon. Will you stop? Philip
Oh,
McCannon.
jeez. Who's he? Do I know him? And I opened the shop. Me and Tony used to go up to the shop years ago. Remember that, Tony?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I used to see him at the old racing because years ago I used to be Tony's backpack.
Well,
He used
yeah.
to go to the old racing and I'd be up in the back of the bike with Tony. So.
Yeah.
And you see, because he was Tony's a big man.
Yeah.
And all I knew
Is he?
to see on the bike was him.
Is he?
And when we pull up, then you'd see the little child behind him. He used to go, the backpack.
The backpack, honest to God. But as I say, that was one of those real pinch me moments. You know what I say?
Yeah.
You know, it was just one of those household names.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
for
in
him
fairness,
to come on the
again, I
podcast-
knew Philip because I was in the trade. Do you know what I mean? And
Buying
I was
bikes
the
and
gopher,
everything,
and we were buying a lot of bikes off him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, and
But what an interesting character. And
Oh,
you know, to
yeah.
go back and like strip it all back, aside from the racing and how he got into motorbikes, and you know, his some of the stories he was telling us of the
brilliant.
old
Yeah.
jigsaw and
yeah,
you know, the postman, you know, if you
Yeah.
listen back to the episode, the story with the postman, Owl Posty. Oh my God, man! What a fucking laugh! What a bit of crack! And poor old Posty ended up in the ditch, and he came over a bridge in the back. We let God knows what.
What did he say? Well, the postman didn't know where to go. I knew where I was going, he says.
Absolutely. And the look of fear in him as well. And all the post was late that day, but just one of those characters and a real pinch me moment.
Yeah, but a real gentleman.
Gentleman.
Yeah, I would love to have him on again because I mean, like he has just many stories.
Absolutely,
an archive of stories.
But you remember, Tony, the first time we seen what was that video made about Joey Dunlop and them out in the back roads practicing, and all the neighbours would be standing at their gates making sure nothing would be out on the road, and Joey would be up the road like a loo ball.
Yeah.
No messing, yeah. But that was the thing with them up there. Like they were close. And when the lad wanted to go for an old practice before a race, all the neighbours and all would be there for him. Right, get out of that road, no one will be on it, and flat out.
Away with you, You know
what I mean?
Yeah, honest to God, absolutely,
Must get the neighbours out down here now next Sunday morning.
They'll be out with the fucking brush,
They'll be out, all right. They'll be out with the boys in blue standing there. Charlie's coming up now in 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Then, of course, if we jump on to episode 50, and it was another interesting one. And I'd say, to be honest with you, of all the episodes we've done, we probably got more feedback from people and more positive feedback and some, I suppose, really heart-wrenching stories. And, of course, I'm talking about episode 50 where it was positive mental health and motorcycling. And we were really surprised. We spoke about the correlation, I suppose, between us, obviously, as motorcycling and how it's, I suppose, helped us, individually, whether we've, a lot of us have maybe never suffered as such with our mental health issues, but it has, I suppose, helped us to improve our overall
awareness of it.
Our awareness of it, our well-being, and then.
But see, there's a lot of people out there, though, Brian, that suffer with, but they don't know they're suffering with.
Yeah, that's
they'll put on the show.
Or they're just not talking about it.
That's very true.
I mean, you can walk out your front door today and be all smiles to people and how are you and how. But when you go back in behind that closed door, bang, you're back to reality.
Absolutely.
And that would head mightn't be.
No, it's the truth, but we were just honestly overwhelmed. It's one of those subjects that we genuinely want to talk about because it is, it's hugely important to talk about.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more of awareness about it now, and rightly so.
People are talking about it more than they were.
People are talking about it, absolutely.
But getting even back to the bikes, the whole social aspect of biking.
Absolutely.
I was only saying that to someone, one of the students on the IBT was the last week with her, I said, like, you can go somewhere in your car, you pull up at the fuel pumps, and you'll just fill the van, fill the bike, or fill the car, and that's it.
Yeah.
You pull up into a petrol station, and you pull up at the fuel pumps, and you're filling the bike away. Another bike pulls in the far side.
Yeah.
You know the guy from Adam.
Absolutely.
How's it going? And what bike? And where are you heading for? And that's biking. It just really.
Pusher Tony. There was once or twice, honest to God, this no messing. I often went into the shed there and, I'd shake the bike and she needs some juice. Sylvia'd say to me, "Where are you going?" I'd say, "I'm just tipping down to tip this back up." It'll be 3/4 full, but I'd fill the fucker.
Basically empty.
Because it might run out between here and there and turn.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know, possibly you could now, But I often go down there, right? And I'd be after saying to her, "Look, I'll be 5 minutes. I'm just going over. It could be an hour gone because I'm after meeting one of the boys pulling in the bike." And you get into a chat, and the next thing you're sucking on a cigarette, and you're chin wagging. In
the middle of the full petrol forecourt.
Absolutely, right.
Fill him away with a Benz.
No, but No. And you come back a different man again because you're after clearing the old head.
But it lifts your humour.
For sure,
100%.
And you see, that's the beauty of it. Like, and it is great because, like, I know people that suffer, and they heard our episode that time, and I got texts and everything, and a few phone calls, and they loved it, and they said that cheered us up. Listening to you talking.
Well, I think it's when people realise
it needs to be talked about.
I think what happens to a lot of people is it's all coming in, and they think it's just me.
For
and
sure.
I think when it's talked about and
they see it's everyone.
There's other people, and like I just say it to my young fellas, you know what I mean? Which is that's life. It's not just level. Do you know what I mean?
No, for sure, 100%.
But you have to understand, right? You can't enjoy the good times unless you experience the bad times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So it will, the wheel will turn. It will get better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
for
And
sure,
once you can cling to that, you know, no matter where you are in your head, you know what I mean? But, you know, again, I would be talking to students, it's not just about doing the IBT, you know, you're just chatting about biking and all that, do you know what I mean? And the whole social aspect and all that, you know, and the same thing I said, like 90% of biking is head work. Because like when you're in the zone, and it's not that you're going flat out, it could be a nice day, could be, you know, 60k, 80k, allegedly, going through the bends, right?
Yeah.
And it's like one fella said, and like, what music would you listen to when you're on the bike? I said, none.
Yeah.
It's just me and the bike and getting my lines right through the bends, all that type of stuff, and just, you know, carrying, you know, that's the buzz.
Yep.
Yeah.
But after a spin, your batteries are charged and you're just, you know what I mean? That's biking.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely,
You know?
100%. Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But I say it was just one of those episodes. We're just blown away with the reaction we got.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it is very important.
Please
you know,
God,
and
now
as I
in
say,
2026 we'll do another episode.
absolutely,
about
yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know?
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
You
Yeah.
know?
Jumping on then, I suppose an interesting one we talked about in episode 52, where we called it the one that got away, and we're talking in particular about not girlfriends now, not ex-girlfriends. We're talking about
Oh,
we're
Jesus.
talking about motorbikes in particular. You know, we had a bit of a chat about the ones, you know, and I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where there's one that you've sold and you go, oh Jesus,
Yeah.
you know, why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's
Why?
one I did sell it, but I sold it because I wrote it off.
Well, that's a different thing, but anyway, yeah.
And it was one of the Z13s that I had. Remember the maroon colour
The
one? I
maroon
had, you know?
one, yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
And I bent the frame on it.
Whoa.
Right. So
We did a proper job on it.
oh yeah. So
proper
do you know
job.
you know what say where where the side panel stick onto the side of it, that
Yeah.
triangle there, it actually where the string arm pivots,
Yeah.
it twisted there.
No
Right.
way.
Like if I'm going to do it, I do it right. I don't just fall off it. I come off it and it slid up the road and catapulted and burst into flames. Like, you know what I mean?
Holy
You know?
shit.
And then I busted my ankle. And you know when you come off the bike, like, you know what I mean? You're not. It's me fucking bike.
Yeah.
And I was on my hands and knees going like down along the floor, you know, and I ran over to the bike. And when I went over, like obviously the fuel had got into the gearbox. Do you know what I mean? When I went over, and with the sparks, woof, up she went.
Yeah.
And I remember like putting it out with my hands.
Gee.
You know, well, I was battering the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? I didn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Me bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
The first thing you did, yeah.
You
Yeah,
do.
and
It's the
then
first thing.
a bus came up, school bus came up,
Yeah.
and my saviour jumps out with the fucking fire extinguisher and comes running up. Oh yeah, don't worry about it, have it. Pulls the fucking pin, hits the plunger, nothing. So
Holy
turned
shit.
back around again, and it was a summer's day, and fucking ran over and got gravel on the, you know, dust to the side, and then just out of adrenaline,
Yeah.
just grabbed the airbox and ripped it fucking with your hands out of the fucking behind the carbs to get it off the bike. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But-
man.
Again, back to what we were talking. I sold it, right?
Yeah.
A lad made
was
a trike.
left? What
was left of it,
Lad
yeah.
made a trike
Yeah.
out of it. Do you know what I mean? Right?
No way.
But from the time I sold it,
Regret it.
I just regretted it. I really did. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now I made up for it. I've got 5 of them now.
I was going to say, I'm not going to feel too sorry for you now, in all fairness.
but and
was-
again, like your 1970s, 80s technology, like it handles like a farmer's gate in a hinge. It's fucking wojus. It's a
Yeah.
big lump of metal, but I could go up on that bike at 60, 80k, 100k through the bends,
No bother.
and it just puts a smile on my face.
You
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
the day you brought me to Dublin for the bike? And you
Oh,
brought me
yeah,
on
well,
the
you
Z.
were in a hurry. You said you were in a
We
hurry.
were in a hurry. By jazz, lads, I tell you one thing. No joking. Backpack me bollocks. I was melted into him.
You were like a cave
We
hanging out
were,
the back.
boys, we went up that road, no messing. This Zed, she, and was in it.
Go away.
And he took Ben's lads that I wouldn't dream of taking even in the car.
Holy
That's no
jeez.
messing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we got there 10 minutes before he closed.
Holy
Yeah.
jeez.
It was
That's what
ZXR 750, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You come in from Japan.
ZXR 750. The good old days, boys. And just jumping forward, then I suppose on to episode 53, and we were chatting with it was Clonagale Take on Europe, and of course that was the episode we had Eamon, of course, our club president, on chatting about the trip that he was after doing to the Pyrenees. Remember the old Pyrenees chat? He wouldn't stop talking about them. Remember all that sort of jazz. But
Yeah, that's right, bud, yeah.
Was he out there, was he?
he obviously had a fantastic fantastic old trip, and it was an interesting one because I suppose with a lot of us, it kind of we never done it. Well, I know Tony, you've done it, but as I said, the rest of us here haven't done it. And of course, I'm joined obviously now as well in studio, of course, by the one and only Kieran Riley,
What's up?
the one and only Ben Moore.
How's it going?
But it was an interesting one because I said we got to learn a bit, and some
We
of the
did, and please God, now we're doing one this year.
the Picos boys, the Picos, bring them on.
Yeah.
We're going on this
The
year.
Picos to Europe, but
Yeah.
as I say, anyone that's planning a trip for 2026, jump on there and have a listen to that episode, and you'll definitely get some pointers on it. I know there was a lot of stuff that we hadn't even thought of. There's stupid little things, when you're planning a trip that you hadn't maybe.
Doing the extra bit on the ferry, like.
Exactly, the extra couple of bob on the ferry, and places, just been aware of what times you're going to be stopping in places and the availability of foods and hotels and all that sort of stuff. But
Well, this is it.
it was definitely an interesting one. So as I say, you can jump on to episode 53 and 55 where we talk about Eamon's trip to the Pyrenees on his Aprilia V4, which he enjoyed. I don't know if he would do it again on that same bike. I can't remember whether we asked him or not. But I don't know if I'd like to do a trip like that on an Aprilia V4.
Nah.
It's a bit of a tough one. Bit of a tough one. What would you do now?
What, me?
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to do it for to see what it's like.
But sure, you mean you have to do it first?
No,
What
wait,
bike
would you do?
Oh,
What bike would you
right. I go on my MT, yeah. But
MT.
like when we went up the RMI, like compared to my other
think
York,
that is
like,
a comfortable. It is.
a
I've
comfy
rode
bike.
it.
Yeah,
It is
it is a
comfy.
comfy old bike. Yeah, it is, I suppose, in fairness. Yeah. Not bad for an old smelly Yamaha. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all have Yamahas now. Well, the three you want to say all. Have you any Yamahas?
I just picked up. Did I show you that? I picked up another Yamaha.
No, what did you pick up?
Well,
He's going to root it out for us here now,
I'm going
anyway.
to show you anyway, but I'll tell the people. And now I swore.
Okay.
I said to you guys, I'm not getting another fucking bike this year,
Okay.
right? Because I have
17
I'll have 26 bikes now, and but I have 34 school bikes, and I have
Well, no, so whoa.
Yeah.
You have how many school bikes
34 school bikes,
and how many other bikes?
26.
So you have over 50 odd bikes altogether.
But sure, you could never have enough fucking bikes. sure.
Holy shit, man! I didn't know you had
That's
that
the
many.
boy, Tiny. You
Holy
can never have
shit,
enough of
man.
motorboat, even though you've only
so
one
what happened
house.
was,
Exactly.
I think I did show you this.
Just give them all to me, so.
Oh, you did show me that. Yes.
Lovely.
Nice. What is that, Tony? A Yamaha?
XS 500.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm going back to my old days now. I was involved in the last DR course in the Curragh dispatch riders course. I was an instructor with the XS 500s, and what was happening was, the way they run the course is basically they run the course and whatever units were coming in, their units would send in their bikes,
Mm-hmm.
and then but after the course they're all being scrapped. Right?
Yeah.
Now talk about criminal waste, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this is before the euro, right?
Yeah.
And you were getting £20 a ton off
Oh.
Hammond Lane for scrap. Now those bikes, they were.
Ah, Tony.
Well, let's hear this now, right? Now they were only let out in the summertime for courses, right? And they're in a garage all the time, right? So a lot of those bikes would have 4,000 miles in them, 6,000 miles in them. That's it, right?
Please don't.
And what happened then was the bikes all had I had to bring the bikes down after the course, drive it from the unit it was in down to the Curragh camp to the workshops.
Uh-huh.
And Hammond Lane were there with an Arctic,
Oh, no.
right, and a
Man.
crusher on the back of it. And you drove it into the workshops. They had to put it up on the ramp, drain the fluids out of it, take out the battery. 3 or 4 of them with a forklift up and into the crusher.
Oh, please.
That's what they did with it.
Oh,
I
my
remember
stomach.
that day, Tiny, because I think I actually had your car and I was picking you up because me and you were going to go looking at a bike somewhere.
Yeah.
And I went over and, boys, you want to see it?
Oh, you cry.
You turn your stomach.
And there's a place in there, I don't know if it's still there now, it's called a Tin Town, which was the cavalry, right? And they had all the stores.
Okay.
So it looks like a greenhouse, around.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
But they were made out of tin, right?
Yeah.
And when you walked in there, I mean, shelves and shelves and shelves of bike parts.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just in, like stuff was still in boxes and in greaseproof paper. And just went in, fucked it all into little hand carts and all went in and crushed. All brand new
Oh
stuff.
my God, that's
Criminal fucking waste.
criminal, man. Absolutely
So
criminal.
what happened was, allegedly, because what used to happen was, we'd have a fitter attached to us, do you know what I mean? And he'd have to fix up the bikes. And I was saying to him, so the thing about it is, before the course to start, the bikes to come in, you have to go through all the bikes. You have to ride all the bikes to make sure they're okay before the shooting's killing them, you know what I mean?
Did one go missing?
Yeah. No. 12. But he said,
12
I was going along and said, no, that one there, I says, no, that needs a set of forks. And the mechanic was saying, no, it looks okay to me. He said, you're not listening to me. That one needs a new set of forks. Allegedly.
Yeah.
And so he being the mechanic, and I got him into the bikes as well. So I had my one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
A Civi one, which I'd bought.
Okay.
And allegedly some parts might have jumped from one to another.
Oh, well, sure, look,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with
And
that.
he did the same with that one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
What, Tony? You want to see what I got for the SS today? What you get? Got a new set of forks. Got a new set of carbs. And where's the old ones? Well, they're over there.
But that chat again. Now it's made it was a lovely bike. Do you know what I mean?
My God. What a
And
bike.
out of the blue, about 2 months ago,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen that. I won't name his name, but just messaged me on Messenger. Jess, how's it going, dude? And da. And he says, you still biking and stuff? Thinking, yeah, doing the blah blah blah. Yeah, listen. He says, I tell you, I'm not to put an extension onto my house, he said, and the fucking place is one, and the garage is fucking full, and I have to get rid of fucking something, you know what I mean? He says, and he'd be heading for his 70s now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he says, would you have any interest in said machine?
No way.
And I went, yeah, sure, you know what I mean? You know?
Sure,
So
look
that's
at-
what happened. That's why I ended up with
So,
another one.
Is that your only Yamaha?
No, I remember the other one I wasn't going to buy this year was the XJS 650.
Oh, yeah.
That was 28 years in underground.
Oh, sure, you have a ton of MTO3s and stuff. What am I saying?
Well, they're all the school
School
bikes.
bikes, yeah,
But these are my own bikes.
Your own
so
bikes,
it's 5Z13s, the BSA, which I'm going to give to you,
Yeah. Oh, can't wait.
BSA 250, CJ 250, CB 250T. That's nearly restored now at this stage.
On the 4-4.
4.4, Pan-European.
Oh, yeah. The old trusty pan-European
It's
bikes.
just two Pan-Europeans there.
On the 50.
Yeah, I just now when I say 26 bikes, I mean one of them like the engine sitting there and the frame.
I
sitting
know,
over
yeah,
there,
but
you
it
know.
doesn't matter.
But they're all
They're
there.
all there, man. They're all fucking there, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
you
anyway,
can't beat them.
but what next episode? What was the next episode? We're going mad off tangent there.
No,
now, you
we're
know?
not, man. That's all interesting. Look, we did a couple of great ones on it, but I kind of the next one I kind of really want to talk about was episode 59, when we had none other than the one and only British super sport champion himself, Rhys Irwin, on. And we talk about down to earth people and just
Sound lads.
sound lads. My God, what a sound fucking bloke. Do you know what I mean? Wasn't he? He was just
He's
some
a grand
crack.
lad, yeah.
Typical Donegal. Donegal. There's a streak of madness there. Do you know what I mean? But in the best kind of and the best way
Wild man.
Well,
possible.
sure, I've
Wild
spent
man.
weekends
Wild
up
man.
there.
Wild man.
Just what's that?
Oh, I've spent weekends up in Donegal.
Oh,
And
yeah.
We went to a pub one night. Bobby John, myself and James and Norrie and Sylvie and
You
Jackie
went
and
to a
all.
pub. My God.
And a gang of us.
Now,
went there.
just to put a preface on this, right? So, when we talk about John, so my cousin, right, and my uncle, right. So my uncle's name was John,
Yeah.
right, and then the son's name was John,
Okay.
right. So to distinguish from the two of them, one was called John, the other was called Babby John.
Bobby John. Okay.
Now, Babby John,
Yeah.
no, like I'm 6'6", and Babby John is 6'4", and 20 stone, like, you know what I mean?
Jesus
But we
Christ.
still call him Babby John.
yeah.
So that's the Babby John he's talking about. Yeah.
Bobby John.
But
yeah.
anyway, so we went out for a few squirts anyhow, and Big John, which was the daddy, said, "Sure, come on," because your father came with his Willie as well, and so we all said, "Right, we'll go out their neck of the woods." There's this grand little pub. But when I went in, hey, but these Donegal boys are there, and to start talking on about R1s and wheelies and blah blah. Of course, fuck, that was like a red rag to cha. Boom, over goes Cha. Never met these boys in my life. By the time we left, we were the best of pals. They knew everything about us, right? And shocking nice bunch of lads up there.
Yeah.
But fucking know how to ride bikes.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, lads.
As I said, that's Donegal, man. Donegal people watch two fucking flies racing up a wall, man. That's
Yeah.
just the way they are. But Reese Irwin, you know, some of the stories he spoke about in the podcast, as we were just mentioned there earlier on, with regard to where it started, the kind of, you know, the deciding factor between do you go a motocrossing, do you go a short circuit race, you know, having to make these sacrifices, like the motocross bike and stuff had to be sold to fund the short circuit race and stuff. There were big decisions that he had to make. Some weeks, you know, he spoke about how he was able to fund, allegedly or unallegedly, with a COVID payment, a set of tyres and stuff. Do you know, but all these stuff that you see the end picture. You see Reese Irwin being crowned the 2025 British Supersport champion, and you see, you know, all the glitz and glamour. You don't see what, normally you don't see what goes on behind him. But Reese, you know, talked about some of the sacrifices him and his parents had to make. You know, and even gave us stories on, you know, the truck breaking down on the side of the road, and you know, the wheel coming off and having to lie in underneath and bay out wheel studs, and you know, go to scrap yards, and do you know what I mean? For the most part, people don't see that, you know.
But he definitely opened everyone's eyes, I think, to how much for an Irish person to be successful, the family has to give up.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well
Oh,
said.
yeah.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Because
Yeah.
They have to be 100% behind you.
The family
Without.
has to
Simple as,
basically give up everything and put it all in behind you.
Well said. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but just a real down to earth bloke, and as you mentioned earlier on, he's going to the British Superbike now for 2026, and we just can't wait to see how he goes. And I'm sure, I you know, if I was that team boss, you know what I mean, I'd be. I think it was an easy decision to make. If you were going to, you know, bet your money on anyone, it was going to be Reese Irwin, because you just see how he's grown as a rider in the past couple of years. Still a young man, and just real good people. You know, I spoke to his father.
I would say though, I'd preface that by saying, you know, like, but how you ride a 600 and how you ride a 1,000 is completely different. So I think he'll do very well, but I think the first year is going to be a learning curve. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, when you ride a Super Sport 600, it's about carrying your corner speed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's all about tucking in every millimetre you can get in.
Yep.
And carrying your corner speed. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas with the bigger bikes, it's slam it on its side.
Yeah.
Into the corner, get it up, and then power on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure. Yeah.
So you can't.
It's a different beast.
A different beast. Obviously, then huge difference in power. Then as well.
Yeah, for
Do you know what I
sure.
mean? So I think that's going to be a big learning. But that's part of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but sure. Like,
Absolutely, but I think it's a man that's well up for the job.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and they
You know
do
what I mean?
say in a lot of those circumstances, and I say, going back over all the books I've ever read, whether it be, you know, Shaky Byrne or Valentino Rossi,
Tom and
they
Jerry.
always say that, Tom and Jerry, they always say the first year is learning, second year is when you're going to go for it. And
yeah,
that's,
it's
that's
like
the way it goes.
as I said to him the same as I said to Kevin Keys. Look, I'll bring them out some weekend, give them a few pointers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, you know,
Just video him and say, don't do this.
I'll take a weekend.
No,
out
were you
with-
watching
you know.
Chad what he was doing? I was.
Don't
do any of that.
Yeah.
How is you don't do any of that?
Bit of it.
The track goes that way.
Yeah, exactly. You'll
When
probably
Charlie
be
was
all right.
gone that way.
You know, imagine the boys going out with Chad. You look back at Reese Irwin and next year he's sitting there smoking robbins. Blackguarding. Oh my
Lord
God, where
Jesus,
would
no.
you get? Where would you
Yeah,
get?
telling you, swear to God. That's why you want to stay off reading them fucking Dennis the Menace books and all that. Like, they're messing with your head.
Oh,
bud.
who said I could read? Yeah, look, jumping on then, obviously with a couple of good ones, but I suppose the next big one we want to jump on from there was after that we want to talk about Terence Healy. We had Terence Healy and we had Mark Dunn on. Now I have to say again, as we spoke about earlier on the podcast, when we were getting the podcast up and going, you know, there was a big financial burden on us and we wanted to make it happen. We had all the ideas. We knew what we wanted to achieve with it. But again, in the early stages, when you go to any company and say, this is what we're proposing, this is what we want to do, you know, but we're looking for a bit of financial background. And I have to say, like, we've had some great sponsors, and we have some great sponsors, like the Pauline's Restaurant and Eating Area we've had, of course. We have City Spares Motorcycles in Cherry Orchard up in Dublin. we had Terence Healy Motorcycles, and we have motorcycletraining.ie, which is, of course, Tony Moore.
fuckers.
Fuckers.
Jokers.
But I just want to say, and I'm not taking away from any of our other sponsors, but I do want to say, and I have to say it on here, Tony, for the likes of yourself and Terence Healy in particular, you sponsored us when you had nothing to go by. We hadn't really any podcasts up and going. It was I hadn't any numbers to hit you with, to show you the benefits. And the two of you dug in, put your hands in your pockets, and made this, go out. As I say, we're at 65 episodes long. And if it wasn't for the likes of yous, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but I could look. I could see the gap for it. Do you know what I mean? As I said, there's nothing like it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And a lot of people they have to go, and nothing wrong with it, but they have to get UK podcasts. Do you know what I mean? But there's enough bikers in Ireland and interest in it.
Yeah.
Why can't we do our own thing? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
for me, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't about promoting. Nice to get the plug at the start of the podcast, but that wasn't my driving ambition. I could see the potential in the podcast. You know what I mean? And again, without blowing our own trumpet here, but the podcast has come on so much, and it's a credit to all the people in the crew. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just obviously there's a lot of people. Again, we just start, Brendan. Again, you've got the IT end of it. You know what I mean? The bits and pieces. You know what I mean? And but it's down to everyone in the club. You know what I mean? To support it. So I mean, I was just delighted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But then,
we appreciate it.
Apart from that
really
as
do.
well, all joking aside, lads, and it's thanks as well to all our listeners.
Oh yeah.
Because it wouldn't be going only for we're getting the listeners.
If there's one
And,
thing
you
I
know-
have to say we love, and I don't want anyone to ever think, the boys, we are nine the boys. If there's one thing we love, it's getting correspondence from our listeners.
Actually, feedback.
Feedback from listeners. If it's a message over a new bike you're after getting, or a trip you're undertaking, or if it's a particular episode that you enjoyed, or something you want a bit of help on to try and, push or talk about or get a bit of publicity on it, we absolutely love that. There's nothing better in it from us than
Goes
hearing
both
feedback from our listeners. We absolutely thoroughly enjoy it.
Seeing them in public is walking through a shop and you might have the hoodie on or something like that, and then it's
Yeah.
do you listen to that? I said, well, no, we're a part of it.
Yeah,
And Jesus,
nothing better.
Yeah, no, there's
It's
nothing.
fantastic.
It is. It's good. Like,
It really
They
is.
always ask.
They
Easy
do.
is small as he makes up. It's like everything. I don't know, but
Depends on which
I'm
part.
not joking.
Depends on
Oh,
which
well,
part. You know what I mean?
it's a good job you're sitting the far side of the table.
Oh, wouldn't make any difference. if
Why,
you're sitting on
why do you
top.
always bring the height in?
That's
Why
right.
do you always bring the height
Because
in?
they always ask me.
You know what I mean? You big long bollocks, yeah.
Well, look, I'll be honest with you, I have to say, and exactly as the boy said, it is all down to the listeners. Obviously, the sponsors have got us to here, but it is the listeners that keeps the whole show on their own. And when we're getting feedback and positive feedback, it makes the whole job worthwhile. Obviously, there's an awful lot of work goes on to this behind the scenes, and we're trying to be, I suppose, with the times and pushing it on social media. But not to forget that we are a motorcycle club at the end of the day. And we started off our roots kind of going to rallies. That's one of the big things we want to do next year. Is
Oh,
we want
yeah.
to go to a lot more rallies and stuff like that. Because they're they really are fantastic and stuff like that.
Yeah, but look, as I said, I think go back to what I said from the start. No, it's our build it and they will come. So
Yeah.
the fact, looking at the numbers, Brendan gets an email there, and we get an idea of the amount of downloads and it's how exponentially it has grown.
absolutely, yeah.
And that's down to you guys, the listeners. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So there's obviously an appetite there for it.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And,
There is, Tony. Like,
and it's good to see look, it's like we said, we had this chat about with the kind of full circle here, back to the with the road race and what was happening with insurance. Like, no, there's no one big night coming over the hill to rescue us. We have to do it ourselves. Do you know what I mean? So, we had to take a punt on the podcast and see would it fly. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm.
And so, it's a credit to everyone. The people behind the scenes who put, but the listeners. You know what I mean? It's and
absolutely,
hopefully, looking into 2026. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As you said from the start there, Brendan, we've got big plans and hopefully to expand it and to hear even, go back to even Kevin Keys, getting contacted from Australia.
Yeah.
Because
Honest
the
to
Irish
God.
are all over the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that's what you forget. It's kind of a link for them
Absolutely.
back to Ireland and
Well, like,
having
I
the
mean,
banter and the crack
The
and
amount of lads that have been driving lorries and stuff like that have mentioned they love Friday morning is their morning to be listening to the podcast. Some lads that come from Cork, going along the road, their cup of coffee, some of them smoke, some of them don't, cigarette, and we're there laughing. They're laughing at us because the way we go on.
But like even my mal texts me on a Friday. If we don't do the podcast, she'd be like, "Why didn't you do a pod last night?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "You
Go on, the Nula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But-
Go
but
on,
you know-
Nula.
but you know-
Go on, Nula.
But you know, how many people have you met like in petrol stations,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they'll come up to you, "Oh, my husband's a biker."
Yeah.
Like she'd have nothing to do with bikes or whatever, or vice versa. And they say, "I listen to the podcast now as well."
Yeah.
So, you know, it goes between.
So
it
that
goes
was
to
like
everybody.
Mary from
That's
Kilmee.
yeah, that's
Good
what
girl, Mary.
Take him over. My husband, the
That's
two
what
of them
I
were
was thinking
talking
of,
about,
yeah.
and he was mad to me, but I'm getting to meet you first.
Yeah.
Get a photograph and blah blah. So we mentioned it on the thing.
Yeah.
So her husband, tough titty, he wasn't around. She met me first. Woohoo!
I get it out with we were down there one day doing the ABT, and it was because what we kind of is one instructor might do the classroom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you don't need all the instructors, just one. And you've got your students in there, and then they're coming down to the bikes, and you're getting them sorted out with their gear and on the bikes and all that, and just like that. Fella says to me, "Are you Tony Moore?" I went, "Yeah." I fucking knew the fucking voice from the podcast.
No, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, for
And,
sure.
and he says so, and then again, because what kind of happens in the IBT is they're all coming in the beginning, they're all kind of nervous, and they don't know each other. Do you know what I mean? And pretty soon, again like that, we're having a bit of banter, a bit of crack with them, and all that. Do you know what I mean? They're relaxed and they're all chatting. Do you know what I mean? And then they're all about asking about the podcast. I'm always telling the students, go on to the podcast and all that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look, it's amazing how it spreads. It really is.
It is, yeah,
It's
100%.
organic. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's not.
As I say, we get the old analytics there, and like I'll never do it, but based on numbers. But the fact that we're going across the 44 countries across the world, and the listenership has just grown exponentially, over the past couple of months and stuff, and it's fantastic to see, and I hope everyone's enjoying it. And once we know you're all enjoying it and stuff, it makes it all worthwhile. I suppose moving on from that, I just want to ask everyone around the table, a bit of a round table discussion. Obviously, 2025. I'm going to start off with you, Cha. What was your highlight of the year, man? If you were to look back over all the spins and everything we've done throughout the year and the whole lot, what was your highlight of the year?
I loved the one down the west, and I loved the one we done for Armagh. Them two
Right.
weekends really.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I know you said one, but look at the chat fucking tells you everything.
Yeah.
Even the bike photo rally yokes, we went to Cavan and all. Fuck yeah,
Savage.
Yeah, sure. You're going along and you're thinking of absolute fuck all. Only your two eyes are in front of you. You're watching what you're doing.
Yeah.
When you stop for the coffee and the cigarette, you're having a bit of banter.
Yeah.
When you hit half full in the tank, you're panicking.
You're panicking.
Right, but them things, were absolutely 100%.
Yeah, no, fair enough, 110%. Yeah, Ben, over to you, man. If you were to look back over your whole 2025, from everything from podcast to road race and everything in between, man, what's your highlight? Now, remember, it has to be motorbike related. Don't want any stories about you and the girlfriend, right?
No, she's at home anyways.
right.
I'd probably say Armoy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that weekend up in Armagh, man.
yeah, some crack.
That was savage. It was savage, start to finish. We were kind of blessed with the weather. The weather was grand. We got one shower on the way home. I know you stayed on later than us, but what a weekend all the same. What a bit of fucking crack. Next one over to Kieran. What was your highlight, man? 2025. What was your highlight?
Sir, there was that many trips, Bren. Hard to pick. But if I was starting now, Killarney.
Yeah.
That was just class.
Savage.
Oh, just start to finish. Just now, at the start, now I wasn't. I wasn't
start
waiting.
was-
Now
was a little
sick
bit
and the whole
ropey.
lot.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
but
yeah,
As Corden, we were getting joked and the whole lot. Savage.
Class.
Savage.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. McQuaid, over to you.
As Kieran said well there, there was so many good trips. You'd be hard to pick one. You'd be splitting hairs, but I would say probably Killarney. I'd agree with him. 'Cause just between Westport, Chaz's favourite new festival, landed down to Tralee and into that sardine can, that great pub. And
Sure, do you remember when we were leaving Tralee and the whole lot? Bren, my dad had to go out. Where was it? It was outside Tralee where Park broke down, wasn't it?
That whole thing.
We were walking out of the restaurant after getting the grub, and Bren says, "Right, sure, here, right, I'll have to go and help Podge out." And you says, "Oh yeah, well, sure, I'll go to the venue and get us booked in." And I says, "Yeah, no, sure, I'll go with you. Do you know, paint you going? You're hot."
Clever little
Oh,
bastard.
jeez.
Two ways or half steamed up, but hey, we go back.
But you know something? The highlight of the whole lot was that pub.
That little pub in below in Camp and Kerry.
We go back there even and remember after Bren.
We
go
bought
back.
you 6 cans.
Yes, cunts, yeah.
And they were lukewarm.
But by Jez, I tell you one thing. I was coming over fairly unsteady going up that Houghton Hill.
It was 20
and we
yards.
not in our stomach. We were starving.
We were starving.
Crisps because we're not in there.
Which we bought.
But we went up. But no, I haven't said no. I will tell you. That little pod you boys, that was the best. Boys, I was out having a piss. I wore Brendan's boots, so I couldn't find me own. And I walked out in the boxer shorts and I'm having a piss outside it. And the toilet's only up there, but I was too lazy to walk. And this woman in her mid-60s was walking by, and me having a lash, with the Araconda hanging out, and all I could say to her was good night, and she went, good night. I said, she went up to us and said, that dirty whore down there having a piss.
You know something? That was the worst sleep I had down there.
Oh, sure.
In fairness, we were only booked in for 6, and then James ended up coming with us. And in fairness, he brought down their mattress, and if you're going to get on, he says, here, get up in the bed, or I'll sleep down there. And you know something? I actually regret saying that. Because every 20 minutes, some lad was getting down, hopping their fucking feet off the top of my head and all that. Oh, sorry there, bud. No,
To be honest, that was just me. I was giving you a slap every 20 minutes just to keep you aware.
To put things into perspective, what Kieran's saying, so these bunk beds were not normal bunk beds. The top one was about 7 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And because the ladder, the only way of getting up onto them was in the way, Kieran decided it was a good idea to put it outside
I
the
didn't.
unit.
On
Somebody
my life,
did.
I never touched it.
So I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning in a pitch black dark,
Yeah, it was you, wasn't it?
busting to go to the toilet. And do you think I could find the ladder? Such a job. I was like Mission Impossible
And then when he
cliffhanger,
got
man.
down,
I
he
swear to
couldn't-
God.
When he got down, he couldn't find his boots. And when he did find them, they were wet.
Oh,
Didn't rain
Lord,
last night,
what
did it?
a fucking bit of crack. But no, absolutely 100%. Tony, over to you, man. What was your highlight of the year now? I know you've done some
there's a
good.
few, you know what I mean? When we went, that was this year, was it? We went, was that last year? I'm trying to think now.
The age is catching you,
Remember we
Tony.
went
You're
to,
getting forgetful.
I said, we'll get something cheap and cheerful up the north to go to the racing. And I got that fucking yard. Remember that?
No, that was
10,
this year, yeah.
That
You know,
was.
oh man, I mean, talk about when I go tripping out, man, right? Because I walked into this thing.
That was the Northwest, wasn't it?
Northwest, yeah.
Yeah, this year.
No, that was the
No,
Mills.
that was. Oh,
That was the Mills.
Oh, Cookstown, was it?
No, it wasn't Cookstown.
No, Tandragee, was it?
Tandragee, yeah.
Yeah.
And we got this. I just seen this look like a tent. You know, I thought, sure, look, it'll do. You know, fucking place to sleep and all. Do you know what I mean? But we went in, man, and talk about like everyone was psychedelic, painted psychedelic in the fucking heat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just sticks out. And no electricity. I mean, not even on the charge your phone or nothing. There was no electricity at all. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And but yeah, just the road racing was one aspect of it. You know what I mean? And yeah, look again. I said from the start, I'm kind of lucky. You know, I get to play with toys all the time. You know what I mean? So it's hard to. It's just hard to pick one. You know, obviously, you know, being involved with Kevin Keys and all that. You know what I mean? I mean, I really got into it this year because I was sponsored for years, and you know, we started getting the results and everything. It was just, you know.
Yeah, you couldn't write.
You know, you did, and he's winning, and you need to be fucking crying when he comes in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're so delighted for him. Do you know what I mean?
Like the proud dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's hard to nail down one, isn't it? It really
Yeah, no, it
you know
is,
what I
man.
mean?
100%. When you look back
competition,
over,
you know?
When you, yeah. The son you never had. No, look at absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly what you're saying.
I've only got two. Well, two have got papers for anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're only getting child allowance for two of them. Look, I'd be probably the same, I suppose. When I look back over the year.
What, getting child allowance for two of them?
No. But no, you look back over the year, I suppose. Yeah, probably for me the highlight, and it's purely when you boil it down, was Killarney. But when you boil it down, was it Killarney? Was it Mayo? Or was it the fact that we spent the best part of 5 days riding together, all of us? Do you know what I mean?
No, I think it was the
Having the
5 day
crack.
crack.
I think we could have went to
yeah.
anywhere and we would have had the best crack.
Yeah.
I'm not taking
5 days of good weather on the bikes. Great
Absolutely
crack with the lads.
savage
Do you know
crack.
what I mean?
No,
Start to
we
finish.
actually had good days on the first day was the shit day.
Yeah.
The
After
day
that, it was
we
grand.
had to go to Longford, and only your ma made us the breakfast and all to cheer us up.
And what a breakfast it was.
I would have turned around and come back because Brendan had wet feet.
I had wet feet. 100% I did.
Them Gucci boots.
Yeah, honest to God. But yeah, no, Killarney for me, the whole, not I won't just say just Killarney, Westport, state, finding the photo rally point, that weekend combined everything, or that week, I should say, from the photo rally points to obviously having the night in Westport, having the crack, then all the adventures down the way. One of the biggest highlights, I suppose, if you could call it a highlight, which is probably weird in saying, but actually when Porrick's bike broke down, if you were ever in need of like a bit of reassurance that the biking community is what it says it is, the amount of people that stopped on the side of the road that try and give us a dig out,
Absolutely.
on the side of the road outside Tralee was just unbelievable. We had, I don't know how many people had stopped. Lad from across the road who lived in a beautiful big house came over to see were we okay and told us we could leave the bike in his house, and then we had lads coming in and thought he had a radiator that had sew his bike and flew off and came back. Just absolutely phenomenal. I think that kind of set the tone, I suppose, for the weekend as well. You know what I mean? Just
No,
we were
there
like,
was-
cheers, boys, these are all good buys.
You
They're all
even see
good
that
people.
like down in Kinnegad there the other weekend when we brought the Harleys down. And obviously mine is giving trouble to start at the moment.
Yeah.
We were there going at it, rocking it, trying to get it to go. 2 people came straight over.
Yeah.
They're like, I think I've something that'll
Yeah.
get this going. Do you want me to get it out of the van? Do you want to jump it? Do you want to do this?
Yeah. Dead so.
Now she fired eventually, but
Yeah.
they were
100%.
going rooting out in their vans for fucking.
No, but,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
see, that's the thing, lads. You see, the thing with life is there is still a lot of good living people out there. You have your bad side of it, but you have your good side of it. And definitely, I have to say, in the biking community, no matter where you are or what you are, once you're on 2 wheels, always someone will come to your side to help you out.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, 100%. Without a shadow of a doubt.
You know?
I couldn't agree with you more, man. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So as I say, look, that's a bit of a wrap-up of 2025. Ross has signalled to something here. I don't know what he's...
race.
Yeah, no, absolutely no. I want to mention that before we wrap it up altogether. Do you know what I mean? What's that, yeah? Yeah, no, yeah. So we're going to wrap it up. But before we do wrap it up, a couple of other mentions on some memorable guests we had throughout the year. Holly Dennis Racing again was another one of them. Just a real down to earth person, real nice, real easy going, and just the passion that Holly has for the sport, for the discipline, and the talent again is absolutely phenomenal. And I have no doubt in my mind that she is going to go on to go and do huge things throughout the sport.
But there
and we're all
again,
back
she has a great back, and her father, her mother, like
All
they
nice.
Absolutely.
they come down live on the podcast. Shocking nice people.
Brought
the brownies.
Absolutely, and brought us the brownies.
Brought us the brownies, man.
Yeah, when
Absolutely.
is she coming down again with brownies?
Yeah, the brownies are absolutely class.
But,
But yeah, look at, and I say that's not leaning on anybody we had on the podcast throughout the year. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We look forward to 2026. We have some, really, really interesting things lined up. And as Tony mentioned earlier on, we have some big plans for the podcast. Starting off the year, I think early in the new year, we're going to have Dublin Harley Davidson on. I want to have an interesting chat with the guys over there about, how it all started with them and some of the stuff that they're working on and stuff. So we've got some interesting guests lined up. And as well as that at the podcast, we've got some events lined up as well. With maybe a couple of fundraisers thrown in amongst the things for 2026, so we hope to get your back on that. But before I do wrap it up, I do want to bring a bit of a word from something that is happening kind of over the Christmas period, and this is from Stefan Byrne, and Stefan Byrne is the motocross conveyor for MCI, and he just sent us a bit of information on an event that is running shortly, so we'll read it out to you. So it's, before we wrap things up, we want to give everybody the full rundown on the 2026 season launch event. It's taking place on Saturday, the 3rd of January, which is only around the corner. This event is organised by Motocross Ireland through its Motocross Committee, and it's a key date for riders, parents, clubs and anyone involved in motocross, including those thinking about getting started. The event will be held in Tullamore Court Hotel, running from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. On the day, there will be a bike show featuring display of new bikes, race gear, rider coaches and many other interesting exhibitors. It's a great opportunity to see what's new for 2026 and speak directly with people involved across the sport. We're especially encouraging newcomers to attend. If you're new to motocross or thinking about getting involved, this is the ideal place to get the advice on protective and riding gear. You can learn how to join a club, meet other riders, and connect with coaches for all levels. There'll be a full overview of the 2026 season information, including what's new and what's changing. And at 2:30, there'll be an anti-doping seminar, which is an important session for riders and parents. We are also planning to have a doctor available on the day to complete any medical forms subject to demand. If you require a medical, you'll need to indicate this when completing the RSVP form, where preferred time slots can be selected. This will allow availability to be confirmed based on bookings. There will be raffles on the day with some great prizes, including youth sponsorship packages, raffles, and a free raffle to win a 2026 licence. To enter the licence raffle, all you need to do is RSVP for the event and sign in on the day. The RSVP can be found on the Motocross Ireland Facebook page. Also happening on the day, there will be Blues Tyre Challenge, where you'll have the chance to win a free set of tyres. So once again, that is Saturday, January the 3rd in Tullamore Court Hotel, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Whether you're a seasoned rider or completely new to the sport, this is a great opportunity to get organised, get informed and kick off the 2026 season the right way. So that's a lovely little event kicking off just around the Christmas period. So we would urge everybody that's available to go over to that, and we'll be over there ourselves to show our support.
Absolutely. I know we probably mentioned it already in the podcast, but again, I would urge people to, we're always at it, but again, look, put your get your 20 quid out of your pocket and, sign up for MCUI, do you know what I mean? And just show your support. You know what I mean? You don't have to join a club, whatever, but it's just flies the flag, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well,
we would really urge people, get behind it now. You know, you don't realise what you're missing until it's gone.
Exactly. And the amount of people that have missed it over the last few years, now's their chance to throw their 20 in and get back and running.
Because again, it's very easy just to slate people and this is going wrong. But I mean, the only person who's going to make this change is you.
Yeah.
Is you.
Yeah.
And if you don't stop whinging about it, put your money where your mouth is now, 20 quid, and show it.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Get this thing going, you know.
Here. I totally agree with you, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. Ross signaling for something. He's under pressure there. But yeah, look, it's all happening as the fella says. So that's an interesting one to get over the Christmas period when people are off. And as I say, we'll be over there, and we hope to see us all there. We're going to wrap it up, folks. From all of us here in Clonagale, I want to give a massive, massive Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas to all our listeners out there. I genuinely hope you have a fantastic Christmas and a great new year. Thanks for all your support throughout the year, and we look forward to 2026, bringing you up to date on everything that's happening motorcycle related and bringing you some interesting guests and all along the way. And you want to add to that, Chad?
No, you said it there, Bren. Giving everybody a happy and a Merry Christmas and a new year to all our listeners all across the world, as the fella says.
Yeah.
So just have a good one and listen for next year, 2026.
Big things coming, boys. Big things coming.
5'4.5" next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's getting pumps in his shoes off Santi.
Absolutely.
Platforms out the 70s.
Yippee-bay-ya. Folks, over now for episode 65, and we'll catch us all back here for 2026 for episode 66.
Absolutely.
Over now, folks. Have a good one.
Good luck, folks.